Hi, Andy here. This is my final speech for our public speaking course at UIU. The topic for this persuasive speech today is how to pursue your study with enthusiasm, something I really like to get into. This will cover mainly two things and a lot of other stuff too. My history in life as a reader and writer and how I feel about it and how it makes me feel. The other would be independent study versus group study or formalized education, which I think is interesting too because you can learn a lot from both. I'm more of an independent learner, but I like it all. And that is something people can get into and really grow from. My history as a writer and a reader started when I was a little kid. I read a lot and I started reading a lot when I was 6, but I was looking at books before then and having them read to me and audiobooks, so I've always been kind of literary. I've been a reader a lot since I was 6, and when I was in first grade I started writing all the time. Short stories would have been my first passion, and I've been writing on and off since then. I wrote a lot of short stories growing up as a kid. When I was a teenager, I started writing music, and I had my own music column in my local newspaper, the Waterloo Cedar Falls Courier. The section where my column was. It's called the Chameleon, and all my articles were music reviews or kind of a critical analysis of things. I probably wrote at least 20 columns on there, so I was doing that for a little bit. I did that in junior high and high school for a while. That was my best writing experience that was published, and I got a little experience going that I could really believe in. Since I was about 2013, when I was like about 12 years ago, when I was younger, still pretty young, I started reading every day, and it hasn't changed. I probably read every day since then, for the last over a decade, and it's helped me grow more than probably anything. I've expanded in my learning and my own personality and life experiences in a way that's just stupendous compared to probably anything in music in some ways too. I've just read so much and I researched so many things. I consider myself a researcher too, and it's something I'm really, really into. It helps me a lot as a person. I'm always reading something. Sometimes I'll read more than one thing, just to kind of keep things fresh so I don't get bored with the same repetitive cycle of things, and I'm doing other things, multitasking, and helps me manage when I'm juggling life and balance a lot easier. It helps with that. The last book I read, I just finished it earlier this week. The third book in the Dune series. There's 6, and then the author's son wrote a bunch. Him and another guy wrote a bunch after that. There's almost 30 Dune books, I believe. There's a lot. The original author, Frank Herbert. So Children of Dune, the book is Children of Dune by Frank Herbert. It's the third book in the series, so it doesn't stray too far from the first one, Dune, which there are a bunch of movies. There's 2 movies and a miniseries, and there's a miniseries film based off this called Children of Dune that references book 2 and 3, Dune Messiah and Children of Dune, and it goes over a lot with the protagonist, Paul Muad'Dib, and his 2 twin children, which is the main characters in this book, his 2 children, Leto and Ghanima, and his story kind of correlates with it, and he, from what I know, leaves the series at some point, and this book kind of starts things anew and wraps things up and kind of brings the original 6 books together in a way, from what I see. It's pretty good. If you like fantasy and sci-fi, it's worth checking out. The miniseries is on Sci-Fi Channel, and it's put out in 2000s. It's pretty old. That's the film based off of it. This is the last book I read earlier this week. Not bad. The next book I'm about to read, I haven't had a chance to start it. It's been sitting on my shelf for a little bit, is The History of Bones by John Lurie. It's a memoir that he wrote. He's a musician from the late 70s and 80s and onward. Artist, composer, filmmaker. He got his start in the downtown New York scene, art scene, independent music scene, and started a band called the Lounge Lizards. and they're pretty relevant back then, and I did a lot. This book was recommended to me through a radio station I listened to, British radio station NTS. This is part of their book club. This is their most recent book, so I checked it out. I love music journalism. Not my favorite topic, but it's something I love to read a lot. I have a lot of music books, something to check out every once in a while, especially if you play. So that's my next one. And I'm always researching stuff too. And the books I read define it a lot. Usually I'm just reading books, but I like to do a lot of other things too and write. And it really helps you expand and grow with your education. My independent study's been big for the last over a decade. This is my first time in college since I was younger. Probably since I was 22 or so. I haven't been to school much, so I'm back to group learning outside of friends and a job. And I like that too, because you can take other people's perspectives and learn from that, and it isn't your own. You're getting something different from what you were thinking, which is, you need that. But I still prefer individual learning sometimes, but I like them both. And I think they balance off each other, and they go hand in hand with each other in a way that helps you grow, and it really expands what you're doing. So that's something I hope to get out of college a little more, is to be able to bring my individual learning to my classes and what I'm doing. I'm really excited about my future goals in my classes. My life as a learner and a writer is something I have more of a drive with than other things, and to me that's fun and exciting, and it helps me learn about myself and what I want out of the world, which is always great. This is only my first semester at UIU, so I'm excited to see what the rest of my time there brings. And I thank the class and the instructor, and again, for your time in public speaking. Again, my name's Andy. Thank you.